You need the key thing in the hand. I think we're alive. Look, something. Hi everyone. Welcome to another conversation with the yeah live. Michelle is talking like that because she at up her teeth. I have one Judah, but my one is about it. Don't give me no trouble. Anyway, so guys, welcome to another conversation. Welcome to another live. As soon as you get on, you can indicate who you are, and of course, you say hi to us. We say hi to you. As you have seen the topic, um, you can come in with your thoughts on the topic. I can assure you, it's really about examining what the 21st century, um, 21st century, yeah, dating looks like. We can speak from, and if you would have seen our courtship blog, um, we told you how our courtship went and so forth in the 90s. Is it the 90s? The 90s, yes. 90s. But I think this era and this time is a completely different kettle of fish, and we just want to have a little conversation on it. But before we get into the conversation, we want to welcome all our new subscribers. Yes, if you're here for the first time, again, we want to welcome you. And if you're not yet subscribed, wait, man. Go ahead, man. Subscribe. Because the conversations we have are both candid, fun, and informative, educational, all of that in one big mix. And so we also request and ask that you participate. Yes. Give us your thoughts on the topic. And of course, if there anything or any topics that you want us to look at, feel free to go ahead and tell us in the comment section, indicate, any topic you want us to look at. We again, for those who are here for the first time, are a couple who have been married for over 20 years, and we started the channel just to basically have a conversation with 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 those who wish to come on and talk with us, and we share our experience and we learn from others. Yes, and that's how we started it. And so if you're here for the first time, as we have said, please consider to subscribe. All right. Um, yes, I'm making sure to send the link to everybody as I should. Um, yes. So we await a few persons to come on as we normally do in the lives. Um, anything you want to say, man? You're so upset about me talk about your teeth. All right, so we're going to post that. I need to refresh it from here. I don't think so. Yes. So as we the topic is not for just say it for now, right? All right. So the topic we'll be looking at is dating in the 21st century, right? How you, the young people of this time, what we have seen basically, how they have had to be dating in this time versus. Well, I don't want to use the versus. Just want to look at what's happening now in their time. Um, and of course, we are basically just going to share what we have seen, yes, and and hopefully those when you come on will be able to to say what share what they have experienced themselves, and so that we can have a conversation on the matter. All right. So one of the things that we have recognized is
That's a name they will know eventually as they hear stuff.
yeah, we're here discussing it because anyway, technical issues. Right. So one of the things that we have observed is that in the 21st century, well, back in our days, people date face to face. Um, and of course, when we couldn't get to be face to face, I think we started dating when cell phone was more prominent, and we would be use MSS, MS,
Yeah, messages.
yeah, short
Wasn't
messages.
that prominent.
So we'd text, because we don't know WhatsApp at them time. WhatsApp was later on. So we text, and of course we'd write notes and so forth. Um, but most of the time, the conversations would be face to face.
Yeah.
You'd get to see the person. You'd get to see the person's expression, not face to face, and body language and everything would be
And their
ready,
real looks. You see
and
them for who they
and you
are.
see their real looks, right? We notice in this time the type of dating. I think some persons still do face to face, but a whole heap of dating apps are out there.
Mm.
Dating apps are there because you know they're saying it's easier to look on somebody's profile to see what them. It's like you have a list, or you go to the supermarket and you have a wide range of stuff to choose from. You want to buy a tin of corn and a wide range of corn up there, and you're able to just pick, choose, and refuse. The dating app, I gather, gives persons that opportunity now to look on somebody's profile and say, "Do I want to talk to this person or whatever?" And then maybe because there's a whole heap of people who are not honest in life, so you may think that you're coming to date somebody, but it's somebody who is coming to rob you or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
Catfish you.
Well,
If it's
catfishing
online.
catfish is one we're going to look at. It. But yeah, so people have resorted to the more safer thing to do, which is to go on a dating app, browse and so. And then the dating apps now, you have like for those who are 50 and over, you have a app for that. For those who are, I guess, 18 and above, you have an app for that. If you're divorced, you have an app for that. If you are they can know you know if you're a different persuasion of in terms of male or female, you're not. There's an app for that. So everybody seemingly have something that they can push to or move to because there's an app for everything, right? And so we find out that nowadays persons use the app to browse and then to select who they want to date. And then a lot of conversations are had over the kind of the internet or whatever. Now, what we have found, and you'll see our thumbnail as it is uploaded, that a lot of persons they don't put up the real picture, and the profile sometimes is fictitious, and that is where the catfishing
Catfish
thing come
comes in.
in, right? Because instead of putting up them real picture and be real and so that somebody can see them for who they are, they don't do that. What they rather do, they will put up a fake picture and then a
Eye
pop,
catcher.
if you want to call that an eye catcher, and then know when the person who sees is on the other side see this beautiful damsel and this beautiful picture, and they're like saying, "Yes, I want to meet this person." Yes, and then no, and if you watch the catfishing series, you find that the person who doesn't want to reveal himself tend to hide and then tend to, especially the communication back and forth. They don't show them real self, and then know the person who is trying to uncover the catfisher has to go and dig
And sometimes they don't realize that they're being catfish until it's too late. Like they're joined, they have a total relationship
connection.
going
Right,
because
right.
some people are so crafty that they, by talking and communicating with someone else, they're able to hide their identity for over a year.
Hmm.
I don't know how some people allow that where there's a situation where they were supposed to meet each other, but there's some sad doom story why they couldn't meet each other. So they build up a whole relationship, not
Over the phone.
over the phone,
Yeah, before we
and
meeting each other.
sometimes not, yeah, before meeting each other, and then you realize that when it's time now where you can't go around it, you have to meet face to face. You understand? They're always all right. Somebody's sick, somebody die, or something happen.
Yes.
But I don't know how they're able to keep it such a secret because I cannot imagine myself being in such an intimate relationship with somebody via social media, and yet I've never seen you face to face. I've never really talked to you audio. Yeah,
You only talk over the phone.
but sometimes it's not their voice.
Oh
You
yes,
understand?
right, right. That is
It is
true.
not their voice that are being recorded. I don't know how they get to do it, but they're very creative these days.
Hmm.
So it is tricky. It is tricky, and it takes a lot of faith right now to date people in the 21st century, especially via social media. Because, as you say, sometimes the picture that is sent, and I think what really happened is that people fall in love a lot by sight. And
Hmm.
most of the time, the picture is the motivator.
Yeah.
They may send this ripped body, a six pack and cuteness are going and everything, and oh my god, it's like the person on the other end are falling in love with this
Hmm.
image,
Hmm.
and they allow themselves to fall in love with this image before they actually get to
But
really meet the
but
person.
naturally, no. Naturally, when you're talking to somebody, right, the
Mhm.
more you talk with them,
Is the
I
closer you
is the
get.
closer you get. I begin to share some personal things, and them
Yeah.
share personal things, and so it's like this natural thing that you're gonna get close to the person. But the disappointment is that, and I think, and in my mind, I say, why you want to, why, what I think, from some of the conversations that we have seen, the person who actually hide them real identity is they do it because
They're
some
inferior,
in
and
right.
sometimes they're obese,
Hmm.
and they have maybe, they have been shamed by somebody in the past, and they don't think that, okay, nobody will fall in love with me for
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
And sometimes that is not the case. Sometimes there are persons who even will say, why, if you have given me that chance, you understand, by getting to know you, the personality that you have, I could have overlooked it.
Hmm.
But because, I mean, you're full persons for months and over a year sometimes,
Sometimes
so
over
the
a
trust
year.
have broken, and sometimes some people they get so hurt
Hmm.
by that, it lick them, give them a big blow.
And one of the things that we're finding is that, I mean, some of the building blocks of building a relationship is trust, honesty, um, you know, I guess straightforward honesty is the same thing.
Mhm.
Um, it's about being open, and of course that the openness comes because of the trust and so forth. And so I don't think that there's a greater benefit to dating um this way via social media
Media,
or whatever.
yeah.
I don't think there's a greater benefit than trying to date somebody face to face. The only thing I find that makes sense to me is the level of the security risk,
Yeah.
right? It reduces the security risk that you don't know this individual, you don't know what they're about. But the more time you talk with them, right, then you probably get to find out some stuff.
Mhm.
And even when you find out some stuff and you make a date to meet, there's still some of the skepticism
Skepticism.
because you're going to say, okay, what are you going to be wearing? What beak you're going to enjoy, whatever. And so sometimes people set up like they go an hour before and watch to see who going to come, whatever and wear and whatever, and so they can get a picture of who them actually
But I mean, if you don't want to waste your time, there are red flags. Because I can imagine, say for instance, I'm naive, right? And I've fallen in love with somebody's picture.
Mm.
I mean, you have to have a timeline where you say, okay, we have to FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to
Right,
FaceTime.
right.
If the person is never willing to FaceTime you, that's the biggest red flag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And because it has been proven to date in the 21st century that there is such thing as catfishing, no matter how smart you think you are, you have to put up some standard in which it's a deal breaker and you don't waste your time and go into it. Because truly, people go as far as the person that is real on the next end who are falling so deep in love and mark you, both person are falling in love, but the person that have put out all their information out there without knowing much about the other person, sometimes they send even some compromised pics of
Mm.
themselves.
Yes, yes.
You understand? Sometimes the line of conversation is so intimate.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But before, in today's day, before you go that far, you cannot check enough because you do have some good cyber persons who know how to get around.
Mm-hmm.
But have your own little checks. One of them is FaceTiming. One of them is also talking on the phone.
Yes,
You
yes.
understand? And one of them you must be able to meet
Yeah,
before
at
a
some
year
point.
or before a couple months. There is a must. There is a must. So I mean, there are red flags, but I think deep down, I think there is a psychological issue behind that, where some person they get a drive from the not knowing, and then it reach a point wherein in the when it's time that you cannot go around your instincts now, where you have to know
Mm.
that some of them are afraid.
Yeah.
They're even
Because
afraid to want to
they're
know
already in love with the imagery that was already
that
presented.
was already presented. And
Yeah.
some people are even fearful. They say, oh my God, I can't live with this not being real. I can't live. So, you know, you have to think about the time that you're in. But personally, like for me, I rather face to face. I wouldn't change the experience of dating somebody face to face,
Mm-hmm.
because what you see is what is. What you're really attracted to is what is there. You understand? And look on some of the stuff. Look on some of the stuff now that people do. You can see a nice picture and everything, and even to the even today date still. Someone you may see somebody with a nice booty and nice,
Mm-hmm.
but when it all get them right now, you have padded underwears, you have padded bras, you have padded basically everything.
You know,
It's scary.
it is extremely scary.
It's scary.
It is so scary to the point that you have persons who are gay who wear these things, right? And they know when they wear these things, they fool men, and they know that's another whole story. But imagine you see this nice eye, because Michelle, as Michelle is talking about, how we're saying why face to face is better. You just see the person. Now, the other aspect, as Michelle alluded to, was when you all right, you meet the person, and what you see presented, you're in love with it. You know, for the guys in see a nice girl, just shape good, and as Michelle said, the behind looks nice and the breast is wonderful and whatever. And yes, most of the time you can't just run into somebody and be all over them right away. I guess over time conversations till eventually, somebody get to visit the home, or especially they're single and they visit the home. And when they go in, and the person, I'm gonna freshen up and come back. And the person go freshen up and come back. When the person come back around now, you wonder if it's the same
As you say that,
person.
I remember Mrs. Doubtfire.
On fire, right? Right, because the person, and I think what happened that time, Michelle, the person go in and then take off the additions, and when them, and it's like they want to say, boy, I forgot real, because worse if them really in love with the person, they can't keep that on, because
Yeah.
imagine the person gets close, and go grab, and what they feel is.
All I know is that it's a big risk, and most of the time it's 1 out of 10 it works,
Mhm.
because sometimes some people feel really insecure of how they look, but they really don't look bad at all.
Yeah.
And What I notice most of the time with this dating via social media without meeting each other, most of the time I realize that the persons, they have beautiful personalities.
Yes.
And the person most of the time fall in love. Well, all the time they fall in love because of the personality and the person that they're having a conversation with. You understand? But I think it's cheating though. It's grossly unfair because after you have that emotional tie and intimacy, right, with such a person, you understand? Because you cannot fault it and say it's really not a relationship because people, they have entwined by just talking. You understand? They really have entwined. Some people invest within that relation. Some people end up sending money, wire money to people
Yes,
through such a
yes,
situation,
yes.
and they get their heart, and hopes up and everything. But the main deal breaker is that some people send some unattainable photos. Some people go as far to send even movie star. I remember I was watching a show by
Hold
the
on, Michelle,
name.
before you go. Those who are unknown, we're discussing dating in 21st century. So as you come on, say hi and indicate who you are, and then you can, chime in on the conversation.
Yeah, I was watching. I don't know if everybody knows a show by the name of Catfish,
Yeah, man.
and
Must know
there was
catfish.
this, famous entertainer. Everybody know Bow Wow. Whether you're Christian or you're not, you hear of Bow Wow. And this girl, she had the audacity to really believe that she was talking to Bow Wow. She was talking to Bow Wow. So when is it Eve the guy name? You
I'm
know?
not sure.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Neve, right. When they get down to the bottom of it and everything, and they say, don't you have any doubt that at this stage, knowing that there's such a thing as catfish, because he said, I'm a living testimony of catfish. That's how the show started. That you're not talking to you, Debo. And the person was convinced. And I was like,
Because of the picture that they saw.
because of the picture and the conversation, the person was into music and the person was knowledgeable about certain things. But come on, you're talking about, why would he keep it such a secret? You have never FaceTime, you have never met, and so we could have told going in that at the end of the investigation and everything that this person's heart is going to be broken. And you have met up on somewhere people, they weren't confident enough to send their image, but their image is not that bad either.
Right.
And it turned out that even though the persons were disappointed and they felt like they have been treated and the trust have been broken, they had such chemistry that they overlooked and they try and they worked it out. But majority of the time, that is not a success story.
Yeah. And the truth is, I worry for those who are dating in this time, because people, and what's ironic? People want really know, but then you're not being real.
Yeah.
People want real relationship. They want to be one person who they can, and watch this now. Inevitably, they're going to talk over the phone and they're going to get to know each other, right? And then no, at the end of the day, you're going to realize about the person who you were talking to is not the person, right? And to me, here are you trying to save yourself from a heartbreak. Here are you trying to save yourself from a disappointing situation, and you still run up in it. You understand me? So I don't know. I still believe that dating and talking face to face is a better thing, right? I still believe that inevitably inevitably in life, what I what you try to avoid sometimes is where you're going up, That is one. Two, the journey of life and the journey of getting to know somebody is fascinating, and it will have its rocky moments. But at the end of the day, if this person is going to be real with you and you're going to be real with the person, right, then it's going to worth it. The ups and the downs is going to worth it, right? But for you, I try to avoid the face-to-face initial contact
And the awkwardness
and the
and all of
awkwardness
this.
of it all, right? Um, and then they'll go the route of social media and still end up being catfished, being missing, miseducated, if you want to call it that, because what the person said that what really happened, and then still end up with a heartbreak. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. If it's any better. You understand?
Yeah, because even I understand that dating face to face has its challenges.
It does. It does.
Because there are some appalling things that some people carry on with when you go face to face. You understand? Some person is the way they present themselves. Some persons, I mean, they have the great look and everything, and maybe you sat around that table and they open their mouth. You're so flabbergasted. You're so, how is this possible? How can you look this way? But when you open your mouth, where did the person go? You understand? It does have a challenge, but at least it have less hurt. You can easily get up, say, "Oh, excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom," whichever way you choose, and say, "This is not going to work," and take away yourself. Because when I look at even the Asians, they do a lot of blind dates. But they meet, you understand? I mean, like in society, in their society, they do a lot of blind dates where they go on blind dates or whatever you want. It seems a norm to just walk in and try to have a conversation with the person and everything. If it doesn't go well, they silently take away themselves. And sometimes some of them just boldly say, you know what, this is not going to I'm out of here. So and you find the sense that okay, this is better. You see right away what you're working with. You don't have to work a couple months down the line to find out that this person is such a duff or this person is such a what would you say
narcissist.
Yeah. So it but still it has its ups and downs. But going with face to face, I think it's better in my book.
One of the things that and I've heard, the man them who, even at work, I hear man a reason and talk about this dating thing, and them they are saying you can't trust the woman them, right? And the main complaint is about the woman then.
The looks are
No, it's about the woman then because one, what they say is not what they do. And a lot of times, even on TikTok, right? You see persons come on them, for example, them show them real self, their real face, and by the time them done do them stuff and makeup and this and
yeah, this is
here
some
and
serious
and
time.
thing,
True.
you can't, you would not know.
No.
There's a lady on TikTok who she doesn't have her real teeth.
Oh yeah.
She
What if it's a granny lady looking
she say man,
like
but when she put in for her
Oh
teeth them
man.
and put on her
She
wig
make me
and
look
preach up her face,
she put me
you
to shame.
can't say on a young girl.
When she put on her makeup, she sleek her face and there's several of them.
Yeah man.
There was this lady, I don't know if you have ever watched E.T. Everybody's supposed to know E.T. by now. The thing that came from space and yeah. The lady, no disrespect. I'm describing honestly how she looked. She looked like E.T., like with a mash mouth and the face, the eye. And long enough when I watched that TikTok video and see the lady put on her makeup and put on her hair and the lady made me put me to shame. Oh, she looked young and sweet and everything. I'm saying, oh my God, thank you, Lord. I am a woman and not a man. Because I can tell you, if I was a single man and see that lady going down the street, I would be tempted to stop to get to know her. And can you imagine you are a man and you are attracted by such vision?
Yes.
And when you have a conversation and say, for instance, that lady decides that, okay, I'm gonna play with you. You understand and go all the way and everything until it's time now, emotions and everything getting and
the kiss her in her frosty come out in her mouth.
or say, I don't know, maybe I'm being dramatic right now, but say you're in the rain, or you have a situation you cannot escape the rain and certain things washed off. If it's a treatment, cheap makeup she have on. That man goodly faint.
Yes.
Goodly faint.
Yes.
You know?
And that's why, a lot of the guys, the other thing them say is this. They they themselves are concerned about even dating. Don't like how me that say boy, we work for them are work for themselves now. Cause them say boy, for one, when them see certain a lady who have well this over fandangles and wig and whatever, them a walk wide from them because all them see is them look a paycheck and go down the drain. Because they eat that week there, or cost 30,000 or whatever the case may be. You understand me? And then no, I'm thinking, well, you have to then know
Exactly.
where
If
you
you
are.
for
If you
ladies,
can't
the
manage
truth
that, leave
is,
it alone.
I'm not gonna stand here and say those things don't look good on some ladies because
No, no,
there are some
it doesn't
ladies
look good. It does,
it does look good,
but
but
my
there are
thing
some
about
ladies who
them
don't need
pocket,
it, you know.
them pocket just go burn them
Exactly,
as a
but
man
we cannot go around the fact that there are men out there
who can
that
afford
if
it.
their
Yeah.
ladies don't put on the expensive hair and the
Mm-hmm.
face and everything that goes with it, they don't feel as if they have a good thing going
True,
on.
true,
So
true.
it's vice versa, and that's so everybody have their
Because
little niche of
mm,
what. But for all the men now who know that, look, my pocket is not deep.
be honest with yourself,
Be
guys.
honest with yourself. Your pocket is not deep. And you want to go and take up somebody that is glittering. I'm saying glittering, as you see her,
Literally.
is a representation of the world. The
Mm.
hair, the sleek face, the expensive attire. And sometimes them have to push down even the best friend. If you and there's some men that are so ambitious, God bless their soul, you know you cannot afford it, but you go for it. And some of them too, they play the fool because they dress up in some of the shiny goods too, but their pocket is not that long. They're just name brand babies.
I think women and men play each other,
Beautiful.
right? They play each other. Um, and we are always told, don't try impress women with money
Yeah.
because whatever you start out with, you
You
have to
have to finish it.
continue, right? So and then it begs for me that there's there's not a greater benefit to dating via social media rather than dating face to face.
Yeah.
I think the earlier you get over the hurdle of speaking to somebody, however awkward it may feel, the earlier you get over it, the better it is for you. Mr. Mitchell,
Good night, Mr. Mitchell. Welcome.
no man,
I
oh,
know
give me,
him.
him say, blessed love, Auntie Michelle,
Good
answering.
night. Good to
Blessed
have
love,
you.
blessed love. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is amazing because, as we said, the guys, when men them reason, the man them literally scared of the woman them will put out where have on this woolly or
Yeah, the
something.
shiny.
Yeah, because they know, and I think based on even their own experience, I'm talking all the guys them who talk to the for example to parties and so
Yeah.
forth. Now, from their experience, they know that this girl is a pocket drainer,
Yeah.
right? Because anything you see her in her, you gotta keep it up.
Keep it up.
So I think either way, you have to be real with yourself.
Yeah.
If you're gonna date online, be real with yourself.
Yeah.
If you're gonna date face to face, you still
Be
have to be real
real.
with
Yeah,
yourself.
because
You know what your pocket can manage as a
it's
man.
true.
And
It's
then no, here's the flip side, Bishop. You have ladies who own money
yeah. They
and,
want
and
to look
and
good
they
too.
want to look good, and they'll tell you, I don't need to depend on you for my ear. I don't, and I think most of the guys them would have preferred finally like that. However, the
At some point, they have to tip in. Come on now. At some point, I
yeah.
would. I know it's a reality of life. All right, say you're a lady, you upkeep yourself, you
Yes,
are single and you're on your own. You have to be realistic.
yes.
And you're doing all of this for yourself. You will sacrifice for yourself, you know.
Mm,
But now you have
a
somebody, a
significant other.
significant other,
Yes.
he is your man. At some point, suppose that is the stress of the lady to upkeep.
Mm.
At some point, she need that stress to be alleviated. So the man have to tap
When they say
in,
that is her stress. You get the
meaning
point.
that, man, I can't afford it because you have lived like this. Man, I really need to quit all of this. I can't afford these waves that I'm buying. I can't afford these shoes and whatever you understand? But they will do it for themselves because that's how they value themselves. And I'm not hitting anyone on
Right,
that.
right,
But
right.
when you take up a man, you're going to attract men. You understand? So I would say you cannot, in that sense too, if there's not real love in play, you cannot blame a lady to want to be with somebody who can help her to keep herself up.
Mm-hmm.
However, there comes a time in life that even those ladies, maybe when in their 20s, 30s that have gone for them and everything. But I mean, as soon as they reach in their 40s going, of course, they still want to do stuff for themselves, but you will find that
Taper
their
down.
mentality is tapered down.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of situation is that most men of the world, they want the ladies in their 20s and their 30s. And those,
But of course,
es-
if you're dating a young, you
yeah, but
want
most of the
someone.
time, the big men want that. The
Okay.
big men,
Oh, okay.
the big mature men want that, and because that give them a sense of maybe youngness or
Mm.
a sense of validation, they will mournfully dip in their pocket, and they will sacrifice sometimes family members, sometimes
Mm.
they're real women and whatever to do this because having that nice, beautiful side piece lady, keeping her up
Side
and over,
piece.
it give him that sense of validation and
Mm.
in the sight of the guys there. What? I mean, it's a reality of life. Versus you do have younger men also in that same age group who some of them for a time will dip in their pockets and facilitate such of appearance for a
Mm-hmm.
young lady.
Mm-hmm.
But they are looking in between the lines and say, boy, I can't keep up this now. Them start validating and want to you really have to drain me, I have
Mm-hmm.
to change on some stuff. And you understand, so you
Yeah.
have some young men too who what they will do is look to older women who have the money to
Yeah.
help them to keep up certain appearances. So it's
But
it
you know
is
what?
vice
But you know
versa.
what I find also with that too. A lot of the men, the younger men who go for the who are now going for older women are saying the young women them not a brain.
Yeah.
Them they're not I know ladies who have said they starting from scratch with nobody no more because they tried it and done that
So
and it has been too rough and whatever said that upon that. However, you find men now, the young men who are said the woman them can't go cook, clean or wash.
yeah,
You understand me? I said all them do. And I think this is not even nothing new because
yeah.
even in around the company, you some of the artists them are saying say boy, but you know if you can cook and
But
they
you're
have your pretty
correct
looks and
in the
whatever.
sense the problem back then, the main concern was that at least they know what they see they were
It
getting.
was
So
real. The
the
boobs
problem
were
is
real,
that
the butt was
right.
real,
So the
everything was
concern was
real.
about can they feed
That,
me? Can
right.
they take care of my
Take care.
home?
Right,
But
right.
no, to show you the wide diversity, the men
How
have
far it has gone. Yes.
that
Plus
problem plus
the
what
fitness.
am I paying for? Is it really, really large? Is
Yes.
can I really touch it? Enjoy, you understand? So
And you know
it's
say
tough on
for
men.
you to be in business and you make fake butts and fake boobs and whatever. For you to be in business, that means that you have a market.
There's a
People
market.
are
Of
buy
course,
it.
there's a market.
You understand?
And there's no classism in it. You
Yeah.
have all class want the bot. And
Hmm.
that's why, I mean, I'm going to stray a little because that's why I would say, African women, Black women, we should start loving ourselves
Strong point.
because
Very strong
these
point.
things now that the world is gravitating for and trying to enhance and buy and surgery and
Hmm.
in the life of an African woman, the Lord bless her with all of that. All of most.
Yeah.
Man, if you don't really get it, maybe a mix or
Mm.
something drop off for like, but at the end of the day, it is a blessing within itself.
Yes.
You understand? So it's sticky. It's sticky, and to the way in which the world is going, I really don't see dating getting easier for
And
men.
what I found disappointing, and again to each his own though.
Yeah,
Now I said me the truth today. I don't understand why a beautiful black woman can bleach and skin. I don't get it. What
that's another topic.
choices and choices,
That's
yes?
another
Because sometimes you may, for example, and the beauty about, and I think this is one of the catch why people don't mind date on social media. The beauty about it is this: you may be dating somebody in the present 2022, and when you go on Facebook
You don't
and check
recognize
them
them.
picture, hold on, check them picture 10 or 4 years ago. I let's put it 5 or 6 years
Or
ago.
even a year.
You want you wonder if is this the same person,
Yeah.
right? and it begs, do you then openly ask the person why you look like
It's
this
deep.
differently?
It's deeper than that because, and while I don't want to bash
No,
anyone,
not
but the
bashing.
reality of the situation with that, playing with your skin tone and all of that, it's deeper. And a lot of time, the persons who get involved in it,
Insecurities
they don't know their
and the
history.
value.
They don't know the value of
Yeah,
the melanin within them, and they don't know their history. So it's something that I try to stay away from because,
in terms
I,
of what?
like, to comment widely
Mm,
on, because it goes deeper. Most of the time, some people, it's they try to do it in the sake of fashion,
mm-hmm,
but there's a deeper underlying issue. When you
mm-hmm.
mess with the melanin within your skin, you and if you know your history, you really don't. Because if you know what it takes for a woman with strong melanin to even have a place in society today,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't mess with that
And what our
gold that
forefathers
you're
had to
blessed.
do
Yeah, you don't mess with it. So
to give
most
us
of the
this
time when
liberty.
I see it, I will either shake my head or I will just it's deeper than what I'm seeing and just leave it alone. But the thing that is ironic in dating now, you do have a lot of men who is looking forward to see that too. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of men put pressure also to on our black woman and compare our black woman in dating to
Like
other
the skin
woman of
people.
lighter skin, and they too is to be blamed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn to appreciate when men also start to appreciate um black women more. Also, it encourages because we're not going to sit here and act like it's all women that are confident with in their
Yeah,
skin.
yeah.
You understand? And that is something that on a whole in dating you have to look. You have to look for too. If you're on a date with a man and all he can you're a gorgeous girl, but it gets to a point where they want to instigate that
You
you're
could do
too
something.
dark,
Yeah,
just kick rocks and let it go. You understand? So that is a part of it too. So we're not gonna act like it don't exist.
yeah, yeah.
You understand? And even also too, there's some women also who look down on a brother because he's too dark. You understand? So I mean, stop messing mentally with people and accept each other for really who we are when it comes to those things that should not be changed. You understand? So dating in today's days is rough. It's really rough because if, say, for instance, God forbid, and say I am one of those ladies, not being married and everything, and I'm dating her, because you know that I like dark men in the sense, tall, dark, and handsome. I like melanin because that is my race. And I'm not racist neither. If a person is light skinned, me not look on neither. But everybody
About
like what you
having
like.
likes.
But you should not have to play with the melanin within you to fit anybody. If you like somebody who's brown skin, then well, better bro, a
Yeah, the
natural.
other persons who have it.
You understand? So at the end of the day, there's too much pressure within relationship and dating
And society.
and society for you to take up certain things. So if you know that okay, it look nice and everything, but he's too dark. If that is not your taste, walk away from the table from early. Not because the man have money, you go stick around. You understand? And then cause problem where you start and mess with not only his pocket but his looks and then someone gets so deeply invested and start enjoy some fruit of their labor till them overlook say that, you're evil. Because it was unto evil.
But let me ask
If
a
you can
question.
manipulate somebody
Do you
for
think?
something
Do you
like that.
think the opportunity to find out about somebody before you decide to officially date them is that a benefit? Because sometimes in the past, a person would have, for example, them a date somebody and it's a happen that them and the person have some altercation and then hurt the person or whatever. So is it a benefit to know so okay, you can check out this person long before you decide if you want to date them?
There is checkout and there's checkout, especially relating to back then in the 90s and beyond.
Hmm.
There's checkout and there's checkout. If you want to check out by getting to know you, but
Hmm.
not know you biblically, like sexual and also, I don't see anything wrong with that because you should really get to know each other on the surface,
Yeah.
basically
No man,
who
that's
you
what I
are.
meant. Me not talk
Nothing is
the
wrong.
intimate one.
No, nothing is wrong with that because basically I think that courtship is getting to know you. That's what a lot of person don't know in dating. Courtship is getting to really know you, like who you are. Is this the road I really want to tread? You know, especially within the Christian community,
Yeah, yeah.
it's nothing setting goal like, okay, we're courting in his mind. There's no such thing. Because somewhere along the way, if one party find out that, oh, this is not for me, they have to take themselves
And
away.
be
That's
honest.
and be
Yeah.
honest. But I think that's the issue. People not being honest.
And we have said
They
it,
play the field.
and we have said this before that
Yeah, we
listen up.
say it.
If you're going to go into something and not be completely honest, it's a
No, it's
waste
headache.
of time, and you're
It's
wasting
headache.
your time. You got to talk to the person, date, get married, then
Mhm.
realize, say, boy, me never do it like
Yeah,
yeah,
and you can do
and
it without
then
entanglement.
yeah,
The nice way of the world now, entanglement. Do it
yeah,
before without
yeah.
that.
But guys, I mean, it's just another topic we want to look at, and of course, you're watching it late in the day that's past. Leave your comments.
Yeah.
You know,
And I mean, even as a Christian man, what are some of the challenges? You should be able to say.
well, I mean, just what I find and listen to those single Christian men, they are saying the Christian ladies they're not being honest. In other words, they are not being real. Um, I guess they still put on, when ladies put on just
Facade.
put on a yeah put on a fashion just to sort of um probably look like the ideal,
Yeah, but underneath.
right? But then no, the surprise, especially in a Christian circle, the surprise to know that the person you're talking to, and yes, they mean the spirit and whatever, you're surprised, so why they're not being honest with you.
Mhm.
I think that is a shocking part for most single Christian men,
Yeah.
right? They are saying, how is it that as a Christian you can't be honest with
The
your feelings,
sanctimoniousness is not real.
right? And yeah, that because you sing in the choir and your spirit, it doesn't mean
And
that
you dress
yes, and
fully.
you dress the part. The- When you are going to be communicating with somebody, you have to be honest with this with them,
I
right?
must have
You have to say it to them and be
yeah.
honest with them.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not here to air dirty laundry or anything, but
Yeah.
that is so true what you're saying because it would be unfair of us to always speak of where we're coming from in the world
Hmm.
and don't look on the present situation. You understand of
Hmm.
what our faith is?
Hmm.
It's true. I agree with that. You know, I can imagine that that also can be a turn off because truth is there are a lot of, and I mean, we shouldn't take for granted that it's not everybody that is in the tabernacle is really in
In
the
the church.
spiritual
Yeah.
church.
Hmm.
You understand? And just like how men sometimes get crafty and they come in to scout out and seek,
Hmm.
you know, a man it's the same
You
way
mean
for a
a
woman.
woman?
A woman, oh,
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
Hmm.
A woman is the same thing,
Hmm.
you know, because there are some ladies you know, it's touchy, but there's some like over, you know, you may know over years within the sanctuary, and I mean, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. They put themselves together. They're educated and everything. And you say, why the heck aren't you married? And you know why? And it's not like they're not interested in being married.
Hmm.
But I think what they do, they scout too. They scout, and I think a lot of it has to do with wearing is a pocket. As
Okay.
much as some people may deny it, they're looking for the full package too, just like what some woman who is not of faith does. You understand? And it is sad.
Yeah,
It is sad.
and I think maybe it happens that because people have seen where even men of faith are not being honest.
Yeah, too.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So I think generally, guys,
Everywhere.
generally we just have to be honest with
Mhm.
ourselves and honest with whomever we think we are willing to give us our time to
Time to.
and to date,
Yeah.
right? As I said, don't just look at the outward appearance. Looking at the outward appearance, even into the day, is still not the way to go. Because the
Yeah.
outward appearance
It's
does
deceiving.
not tell who the person
Person
really
really is.
is.
It's true.
You understand?
It's
And
true.
I will make it worse. Them have false parts them can buy.
Right. That's true.
So so you have to be just find a way to get real, to be real, and to get the persons to be real with
Yeah.
you that you're dating. Right? Even in this 21st century, you still can find love. You still can find that genuine person.
Genuine, yes.
Because you know what? Genuine attracts genuine.
Genuine. And that's the key thing.
And fake attracts
Attracts
fake.
fake. That's the reality.
I honestly believe that. So if you book up on somebody fake, it's because you
Yeah.
fake yourself. And
Yeah.
you've been attracting that fake, that fake
fakeness.
energy.
Because over time, many times since I've been saved for many years, it's I want to say, many, not that I'm ashamed,
Mm.
you know, I'm proud of it. You met a lot of like on the road, you know, really met men we see on, wow, Christian, we're coming to church, you know, because we need a nice Christian girl and we can't find a nice Christian girl for me. Sometimes relatives or friends that you know, and you will look at it and say, then come in, let the Lord deal with your heart. And if your wife is there, your wife is there. But I think there are some persons who genuinely believe that they can walk off the streets and get themselves, you know, a wife, a Christian. But it is not easier like that. If you have, when you turn, haven't changed yourself also, you understand, and make yourself who you're looking for, like you said, you're still gonna have a problem because you cannot come in to the church and still like you want to be fake or you don't want to change anything about yourself and need to be changed and then get yourself this beautiful answer to it. No, it don't work like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It really don't work like that.
Well, guys, again, those of you who are watching it in I mean afterwards, after the live has passed, please share your comments.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. And of course, if you're here for the first time or if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers and beyond, and we want you guys to help us get there. All right,
Yeah,
you've been our friends from day one,
Yeah.
and we are thankful that you have continued on the journey with us. So we're just saying a big appreciation for everyone who is a subscriber. And for those who are thinking about it, get over the line.
And welcome to our new subscribers
Yes.
and our newest subscribers since today.
Right.
Welcome. We
Welcome.
appreciate whoever you are.
All right.
Welcome.
So until next live, and until we do the video upload, we're saying God bless. See you on the other side. Blessings.